Thanks for the support as a channel member, Mark Warwick. It is World Cup quarter-final day, boys and girls, and hopefully World Cup semi-final day too. I'm very excited. We could, by the end of this episode, have booked ourselves a spot in the World Cup final, which that would be quite, I'd like that. That would be fun. Hello and welcome to part 3 of the international version of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the World Cup quarter-final. We're playing against Colombia, and this is the team we're putting out there to play them. And by popular demand, James Maddison is in. It's not by popular demand. Declan Rice is suspended, so Maddison comes in for him. I have noticed a little bit in the comments, a few people saying, Kev, why is Maddison not in the team? He's one of your best players. Why are you not starting Sterling and Sancho? They're two of your best players. You little rascals are making the same mistake so many England managers have made in the past, of thinking being England manager is about picking the 11 best English players. It is not. It is about picking the best England team. And I don't think James Maddison fits very well into this England team. He could prove me wrong today and force his way into the team going forward. Likewise, I think we've got room for Sterling or Sancho, because I think we want Keith Crown in the team. And everyone tells me I'm wrong, and Crown is definitely an inside forward. And if he is, he's definitely my first choice starting inside forward. And then it's between Sterling and Sancho for the other side and Kane up front, because we don't have any other strikers. So I'm picking the best team, or what I think is the best team, not the best 11 players. So you lot would all pick Lampard and Gerrard together back in the day, wouldn't you? Crazy nonsense. That's where it all went wrong with the golden generation. We're not going to get into that. Today's team for the World Cup quarter-final. Pickford in goal. A back forward. I mean, he effectively is. But a back four of Sessegnon, Tomori, Stones and James. Fotheringham and Maddison in midfield. Sterling, Ali and Crown behind Kane up front. Phil Foden dropping down to the bench, mainly because he's getting tired. I mean, I know a lot of them are getting tired, but when we've got Dele Alli 100% conditioned, yes, he's not match fit, but there's not really much between Dele Alli and Phil Foden. So let's play the one who's fitter and have Foden come off the bench as an impact sub if needed. I mean, it's probably what we would have been using James Maddison for at this point if Rice hadn't have been suspended. But it's always the way with these World Cups. You do find players start really accumulating tiredness, and it's a problem. Right, carry on there and finish off last match. Got to make that into a sentence. Choose your own sentence from the words I just offered to you. I think that's probably the best plan. Colombia, I guess you could argue, is our first proper challenge of this World Cup. I would argue, as the team currently ranked third in the world, they shouldn't be. We should be able to comfortably make our way past Colombia, but I've been watching England play in World Cups for 30 years, so I know full well this is the kind of game where we've got a very good chance of getting knocked out, especially in a World Cup that's somewhere hot. We're over in America. We're playing in Dallas, Texas today, which presumably quite warm in the middle of July. So I imagine we're going to be not only suffering a little bit in the heat. Harry Kane is in. Forget the heat. Harry Kane just likes to score goals. 1-0 to England. But we're also travelling an awful lot throughout this World Cup. A couple of people have mentioned it down in the comments, how because the World Cup, and this is actually a World Cup that's going to happen, isn't it? Because FM doesn't come up with weird World Cups like this. This is the kind of weird stuff that only happens in real life. But because the World Cup is Canada, USA and Mexico hosting it, that's an entire continent. We're travelling between 1,500 and 2,000 miles between each match. And the matches are like 3 days apart. And it's really hot most of the time because we're playing in Texas. Why can't we be playing in Canada? But it's, I think, all in all, for a team like us, for a group of players like us, this is going to be quite an exhausting affair. That's why we're not recovering between matches. I mean, we wouldn't be recovering between matches anyway because you can't rest players between matches internationally. It's been a problem with Football Manager for years. But at least this way, storyline-wise, it's because of all the travelling and all the heat. That's why we're tired. But if we just want a penalty, that seemed like a very soft penalty. Harry Kane dancing around like he's Johan Cruyff, but he seems to have won a penalty. The ref's going over to the little telly. I mean, I would ask for that in my ears if I was the ref, so I didn't have to run all that way in this heat. When we see the temperature at half-time, it'll be like 12 degrees. And apparently I don't know American temperatures different times of the year. It's not a penalty. I mean, it did look like a very soft penalty. It's two club teammates having a little bit of a laugh with each other. I assume Sanchez is still at Spurs as well. We might find out if I end up managing Spurs. Because as a few people spotted, they're one of the teams I've interviewed with. Oh, so it was outside of the penalty area. It wasn't a foul. Maddison crosses over. Ali tries to get under the end of it. I mean, it's all Tottenham players. That was a Tottenham player giving away the free kick by fouling a Tottenham player. A different Tottenham player took the free kick, aiming for a different Tottenham player. And now we've got another Tottenham player who needs to ease off his tackles. If I do end up at Spurs, I already know all the players because I'm managing them all here. We've got to guard against complacency. Excellent stuff. 1-0 up at halftime. I can live with that. I would like a second goal, but again, we're doing this stupid thing that I've done this in World Cups before. I think it was when I was England manager as part of the home series last year and went to a World Cup gegenpressing like I am today, and everybody said, Kev, you are aware how much of an issue fitness is at World Cups. You can't gegenpress in a World Cup with a bunch of players who are on 75% condition. Oh, yes, I can. Do we not get the temperature? Oh, yeah, 31 degrees. At least it's breezy. A breezy 31 degrees. Goodness me. I'm sweating, just sat here on the touchline. That might be because I've got both radiators on in my garage. It's 1-1, and we've let them back into the game. It did kind of feel a little bit like it was coming. They've had 3 clear-cut chances to our 1. We had our 1 goal and then the penalty that wasn't. And other than that, I don't remember us having an attacking highlight. We need to... I mean, this is why Phil Foden sat down there on the bench. Sterling's having a terrible game. Sancho is also on the bench, but not really fit. We know he got injured back in the group stages. But if ever there was a time to bring him on and risk further injury, it would be in the quarterfinal when we're at risk of going out, because he is arguably our best player. Sessegnon sort of went for that and then hesitated, and I think he should have just carried on going, so he probably would have got there. But by hesitating, he's left a big gap behind him. Pickford makes the save, but we're looking a little bit all over the place at the moment. I'm going to ask for 10 minutes of passion while we have Sancho warming up, while we have Foden warming up, while we decide what we're going to do. Maddison with another free kick, looking for an England shirt, doesn't find one. He was probably looking for their head rather than their shirt, but either way, he only hit yellow. And now Colombia are on the counter-attack again, and apparently that was a save from Pickford. It looked like it had gone well over, but apparently Jordan Pickford got his fingertips to it, and Colombia have another corner. And I mean, they deserve this. Look at the stats. They deserve it more than we do, and we need to sort our lives out. Right, Sterling. Do we risk Sancho? Or do we go Hudson-Odoi, who did play well in the previous... I think it was the previous round. He certainly scored a goal at this World Cup. I mean, if one of them numbers was... If both of them were in the 80s or one of them was in the 90s, I might go Sancho, but I don't want to risk breaking him even more. And then I think... Oh, you know what? Keith Crown's the other guy. We might bring Sancho on anyway. I am going to bring Sancho on anyway. Completely contradicting myself, but we're going to make those 2 changes. We've got Foden, we've got Rashford, we've got Gibbs-White, who are all good options to come on if needed. Let's get creative as soon as we can. I'd like to think Jadon Sancho, recovery from injury, can come on and make himself a hero. The stage is set for the Jadon Sancho show, and here he is, charging through the defence, finds Dele Alli. It's back towards Sancho. In fact, it's Kane who ended up chasing it, and he can't quite get there. He probably should have just got out of the way. I think the ball was meant for Sancho. It looked like it should have been, and I feel like Sancho might have got there, even though he's not fully fit. And now Colombia coming at us again. It's a lovely through ball. It's a fantastic save from Jordan Pickford, who is having the game of his life to keep us in this tie. England captain Jordan Pickford is having a man of the match performance in the quarter-final. All I'm really learning is even if we win, we haven't got a hope of getting past. I think it's Brazil or Spain in the semis if we get there. Kane looking for a penalty again, was never going to get it. And Phil Foden, I think now is your time, sir. Who are we going to take off? We are going to take, Dele Alli, I guess, is the obvious one. Ali for Foden, although assistant manager says Gibbs-White. I'm absolutely going for Foden in this situation. I played my Advent series. I know how good Phil Foden can be. Let's get creative again. It's inspired everybody. We've got 5 minutes of creativity. It's the new 10 minutes of passion. Hudson-Odoi picks the ball up on the right-hand side, trying to get himself into a crossing position, and he does. Cross comes over. Harry Kane heads just over. He had the opportunity to grab himself. I mean, he must be amongst the World Cup's top scorers, despite me moaning about him constantly. But he's missed a big chance there. And the last thing we needed is extra time when we're this tired and this hot. Let's passionately dig in, give it everything we've got left. I think we can make a 4th substitution now, because I think we discovered that in one of the earlier rounds. So I might take off Fotheringham and bring on Gibbs-White and drop Foden back to box midfielder, which is where he's played throughout almost all of the qualifying. And Gibbs-White has weighed in with some important goals at various times. Right, that is my attacking change done. Yes, I know we could go to attacking, but it never works. Whenever I do it, it doesn't work. James Maddison played well, tiring quickly. Sessegnon, exactly the same situation. We've got 15 minutes left. We don't want penalties because we're England and this is a World Cup. I'm going to demand more, because we should be beating Colombia. That's a big call, but it's focused, everybody. We've got 5 more minutes of extra time before the hell that is penalties and a potential World Cup exit, which I'm fairly confident will not only get me sacked, but will lead to me not getting any of the jobs that I've currently applied for, because I think this will go down as a huge underachievement. Whereas if we hit the semi-finals, that's where everyone expects us to be. But if we get there, it's going to have to be via penalties. This is going to be horrible. I didn't catch that. Siri, shut up. Not now. Goodness me. Pickford, hopefully he will catch that. If he had have caught it, it would have been a save. Harry Kane, the stage is set for him to miss a penalty, which we know he doesn't do. But I've seen him miss a penalty in FM20. He's not going to miss one today, though. It's 1-1 on penalties, and Kane's just pointing, saying, yeah, obviously I'm Harry Kane. Whew. Right, come on, Jordan. You've had a fantastic game, and he is beaten again. I mean, looking at those stats, Colombia deserve this far more than we do. James Maddison, you've all been calling for him. If he messes up here, it's your fault, because I wasn't playing him. That's your fault. That is absolutely. If we don't go through now, it is your fault for pressuring me into playing James Maddison. He should never have been on the pitch. Jordan, please save me from this. He got there again, and use your hands, Jordan. He's got to 2 of the penalties and just push them into the back of the... Does he know how big the goal is? Push it around the post. 3-2, Jadon Sancho. Jordan, push it around the post, for goodness sake. Let's have a little look. Oh, that's coaching. He didn't realise he had to push it around the post. He thought he just had to touch it. Little bit of coaching, and he's back. Right, John Stones. Barnsley icon, John Stones. I never liked that man. I can't get on the favourite personnel list. He's an icon, and he does that. What is that, John? Right, we need another... Jordan, remember, push it around the post. It's not enough just to get to it. You've got to push it around the post, or push it back out. Just don't let the ball touch the strings behind you. That's important. Come on. Oh, we're out of the World Cup in the quarterfinals, and I think I'm going to be sacked. Oh, it was your fault for James Maddison. Not happy with the result. We absolutely should not have been knocked out in that quarterfinal. That was pathetic. But somehow it seems that it's not going to lead to me getting sacked. So you get more England episodes in 2 seasons' time when we attempt to win the Euros. Oh, God, that was awful. Well, if you enjoyed that, more importantly, if you're looking forward to the fact that we've got Non-League to Legend normal back tomorrow, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.